All right, guys, welcome to the Inklings podcast. My name is Brandon,
And I'm Jonathan.
and so this week we'll be delving into poems, specifically haikus,
Mysterious.
3 syllables, mysterious or mysterious. Actually, that's 4.
Mysterious.
That's actually 4. My bad. Wow, grammar.
If we're coming up with haikus on the spot today, Brandon, we're gonna be in trouble.
You can't do good haikus without numbering them on your fingers.
That's true. Hold on.
Numbering on your fingers. 7.
Hey, that would be a good second line. Anyways, I kind of alluded to what we're going to be doing later in the episode, but before we get into that, we did prepare some haikus ahead of time to kind of share with you guys that are themed after the 4 seasons.
Yep. So we wanted something to like show some of the things that we've actually wrote.
Yeah, to prove we can do this.
And to be honest, like whenever I think of haikus in like I hear them in media or different things. I think of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Interesting.
And the like haiku battle that Sokka was doing with like, I don't know, it was like some school or whatever. He said something and then he counted, oh dang, it was one too many, and then it was thrown out. I don't know. Some weird thing. But when I get better at editing, I can just like, this is what it is. But yeah. You know, whatever. But so haikus are, I think they were Japanese based, and they're often associated with nature, although they don't have to be. But initially, that's how they were construed. And then they're 3-liners. So the first line has 5 syllables, the second line has 7, and the third has 5.
So 5-7-5.
5-7-5. Or the basic format. So haikus are really pretty simple to create and make. And so I think we'll just kind of show you or we'll read to you some of the haikus that we have. And obviously they don't necessarily have to have titles. We titled them, but they don't have to have titles. Well, initially some of the ones that I've written in the past don't actually have titles, so you almost have to think about it yourself a little bit of what does this actually mean. So it has more thought behind it, whether it's titled or not. But we titled them this time, so you don't have to worry about it.
My titles also follow the 5-7-5. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man,
you getting double haiku'd.
All right, so we're gonna start with spring. As you know, we're approaching the season of spring.
Yeah.
As it's currently thunderstorming outside right now. So thankfully we are not outside.
Let us know in the comments if you want us to be outside, though. We won't do it.
Haikus in the rain. Haikus in the
on a
rain.
boat.
I hope you can row really fast.
I can't, so I'm in trouble.
There's a leak in the boat. Oh no! What should I do? It's not an onion.
Get a haiku!
Okay, so I'm going to give mine, and obviously they have themes behind them.
Yeah, do you want to share what the theme is?
I'm not going to share the theme, so I'm just going to give it, and then you can guess what the theme is.
Mysterious.
So the title kind of alludes to the themes for some of mine. But we'll get into it. So this first one is called Fresh Wind. So this is my spring entry, if you want to call it. So reaching for sunlight, birds chirping, forest breathing, new life awakens. So that is mine. So 5-7-5 follows that same. So reaching for sunlight, 5. Birds chirping, forest breathing, 7. New life awakens, 5. There. Pretty standard. Yeah. So why don't you share your spring entry?
So mine is titled Anew. So try to guess what the theme is there. um, the dark is fleeting. Golden radiance shines bright. Life flowers again.
So I feel like we kind of hit the same nail.
Wait. I don't know what your theme is yet. I didn't guess. Wait, I'll write it on.
You won't write it up. So if you couldn't tell, they're very similar in
Brandon's
what it is.
theme.
Oh,
I'm gonna make a game out of this.
oh. Even
For
though
springtime.
even though I already put it in the
Brandon's theme for spring is
Jonathan's theme for spring.
that work?
Oh, wow! What a theme for spring.
I hit the nail on the head, right? I'm guessing yours has something to do with life anew. Contrary to what I showed the camera.
Yours definitely, your theme.
Old.
Definitely correct.
Yeah, that's about right. Good job. Proud of you.
Anyway, in all seriousness,
We definitely hit kind of the same theme. Not the joke theme, obviously, but kind of the idea of spring, you know. Oh, it's new life. Things are starting over again.
yeah, kind of entering out of winter, kind of that idea.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, obviously we were joking.
Yeah.
And then why don't we go to summer?
Okay.
And how about you start this time?
All right. Mine's called Nostalgic.
Whoa, how nostalgic!
Yeah. A scarlet sunset. A summer woven with joy. A pensive longing.
As in, you're right in winter writing this, and wow, I could use the summer right about now.
Actually, I was thinking about my childhood summertime adventures. Seriously, that's what I was thinking about. But yeah, that works too.
I was kind of joking, kind of not.
Technically, yes, you could derive that meaning from there. Art's subjective or something. All right, Brandon, you go.
Again, mine also kind of goes toward memories and different things like that. So mine's called Catching Fireflies. So catching fireflies, frolicking in the meadows, making memories.
Did you ever catch fireflies as a kid? I'm assuming you did if you wrote it.
Yeah, I have. And you
Yeah.
get the mason jars, you get the holes poked in them, you catch them. Fireflies. Nature's lava lamp.
Groovy.
Except it's not a lava lamp because they're living.
Just little bugs just hanging out, you know.
And then you release them afterward. Or if you're like my siblings, you feed them to toads sometimes. And it's like, oh, well. And then,
My siblings would try to keep them as pets and then wonder why they die the next day. Gerald, no!
the toad's glowing. He ate it, but now he just blinks. Oh no. Anyway, summer. I think of summer. I was either gonna do fireflies or dragonflies.
Okay.
So those are kind of like
Again, we kind of hit a very similar theme.
again
the
kind of
nostalgic aspect.
to nostalgic, going back to childhood memories,
Yeah.
different things like that. And then for autumn or fall, depending on which one you want to say.
I prefer autumn.
Yeah, I prefer autumn because it sounds cooler.
Yeah.
So mine's called Autumn's Hope. That's red, orange, yellow, an outstretched hand collected autumn's final wish.
All right. Mine's called The Beginning of Slumber.
Ooh.
A brisk wind calls out, a chime amidst the leaves, or amidst falling leaves, excuse me. Sorry. Warmth and cold's advent.
So yours kind of, I think of hibernation.
Yeah. Definitely we're wrapping up the year. We're kind of, things are going to sleep for the winter. You know,
Yeah.
we're getting prepared for that.
Yeah. And then mine is a play on catching the last leaf of
Yeah.
fall.
That's something we always did as kids.
Yeah.
Or the last leaf of fall. You know, the last leaf.
Which has a meaning in and of itself behind it, but I'm not going to spoil it. Y'all can look it up on your own. Anyway. And then winter. Winter.
Mine feels ironic considering how I feel about winter, you know, right now as we enter into spring. But in the moment of, you know, like December, I definitely have more positive feelings about winter. So I guess I can start. So mine is called The Tranquility of Finality. Beneath falling snow, in quaintness and quietude, a peace in endings.
Oh, how I wish it would end.
And again,
the winter.
kind of giving...
It's supposed to snow tomorrow, which, given when this video comes up, it should be done now.
Yeah. But like I said, in like December, like there is a peacefulness to the snowfall. There's something very quaint and, you know, beautiful about it. But right now, as you know, we're at the end of March, you know, about to enter into April. It's like, okay,
all right,
bye.
Yeah, you can leave now.
You're done.
You graduated.
We'll see you again next, you know, and see you next December.
See you next year, or well, not really. But...
We'll see you this year, but in a few, months later.
And then mine, I called it Winter Gathering.
Mm-hmm.
So, amidst barrenness, a hearth crackles, chestnuts roast, Christmas is coming.
Dude, I love Christmas.
Give a gif or something of like Buddy the Elf just jumping up and down. Yeah!
Oh, man.
Christmas! Santa! I know him! But anyway, those are just an example of some of the haikus that we wrote for the different seasons. And honestly, comment down below some haikus that you can come up with for the seasons.
But don't tell us the theme. We want to figure it out on our own.
So it could be spring, summer, fall, or / autumn, and winter. And we would love to see your different work down below. And now, a little game that we were thinking as we were coming up with this, because haikus are pretty simple, right?
He says that, but neither of us are. We're gonna both have brain farts. You know? Oh, you're gonna see us counting syllables on our finger.
So something that I thought would be interesting is we have whiteboards, as you may or may not have noticed, and something that I think would be fun is we're going to be writing a haiku, and it could be about whatever, except something that we're going to be doing is we're going to be basically having the theme of whatever it is we're going to be writing about, the other person writes on the whiteboard using the first letter of our names. So for me, I'll come up with Jonathan's theme with the letter J, and he'll come up with my theme with the letter B.
This is gonna enter some really dangerous territory in that who knows what, you know, we're gonna come up with.
So
what's the most ridiculous B word I can think of?
So we'll be coming up with something, and then we'll show it to the screen, like probably about that.
Now, just so you guys know, we can't see, you know, what each other are showing when we put it up to the screen, even though we can see.
So we'll be
camera.
showing.
Yeah, both of us are blind, so even though we can see like the footage, we can't actually see what's on the whiteboard.
Look, it's a board that's white.
What?
So We're gonna come up with a word.
So just to clarify the rules, these don't, even though haikus are generally nature based, these don't have to be.
They don't have to be,
Okay.
but I'm gonna try to make it somewhat nature based if I can. So
The possibilities are endless for me. So
all right. So I'm gonna try to come up with a theme for you. And it has to start with a J.
theme or word?
Oh, dang it! Oh, I was gonna do something so funny.
Just do it.
Okay.
I
It
Full
doesn't.
send it.
It doesn't start with a J, but
Oh.
it kind of starts with a J. Depending on how you. If you're talking about the John, okay.
Okay.
So
I got you. That works. That works.
Okay.
But now I got to think of something different for you.
But I don't have to do it if you don't want to.
I don't care. Do it. I think it'll be fun.
I know, I kind of went out of order. But for those, that's what it is that he'll be doing. Emphasis on the J, but that's what it's gonna be. So I'm kind of I'm looking forward to it, to be honest, because it could be interesting.
This will be interesting.
Oh man.
Where's the camera there?
And what's my word?
Yours is bamboozled.
Oh, bamboozled. Oh man. Is it 3 or 4 syllables?
Bamboozle. Wait, bamboozle. So 3?
3?
Yeah.
3. Okay.
And I'm the John or
We can say Porta John,
Porta John. Okay.
just because that'll be interesting.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna put my word up in the corner.
Ooh, this is gonna be tough. Let's see.
Well, yeah, same with bamboozle. I've been hoodwinked.
No, you've been bamboozled.
Oh. We're gonna be counting on fingers, okay?
I'm not even laughing about that. I'm just laughing about the fact that I have to write about a Porta John.
This is good though. I'm even starting the line with a B. Oh man.
I'm not gonna do that. That's too hard. Center, gotta start over.
What's the worst one to get in this? It's not great, but hey, it fits.
I've got one more line. Hold on.
Okay. I'll wait for you to finish. It's not great. It's so lame. Obviously, I'd think of better things, but I don't know. This is the first thing that came to mind, so that's kind of where this comes in. I'm curious to see what you came up with because I kind of went with something funny for that. I feel like it shouldn't be just awkward silence as we're just kind of recording. So
Is Porta-John one word, or
you can put a hyphen in it. Why not?
that's kind of how I'm treating it, as like one word.
Yeah, go for it. We'll do whatever you want. I mean, technically, I would say it's like hyphenated.
That's kind of where I was thinking. I just wanted to see if we were on the same page and if we're gonna count that.
All right. So you think it's okay if I just
I'm ready.
start doing? Okay, you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll start with mine. So it's bamboozled is the word that
Okay.
I decided to use it in the haiku as opposed to making it the theme, even though I kind of made it the theme. So if I was gonna title it, I'd call it Bean Boozled.
Okay.
So if you have an idea of where this is going. So when I thought of bamboozled, I thought of like the jelly beans, bean boozled, like the game or whatever, where you spin and you get whatever. So yeah, bowl of jelly beans, nothing but flavored dog food. I've been bamboozled.
All right. Like that. I don't have a title for this yet, so maybe in the comments, give me a title. Obviously, my word was the John, referencing a Porta-John. So mine goes as followed. My gut cries in pain. A sinister scent seeks me. Porta-John's vile wrath. You know, the sinking feeling of when there's no other bathroom except the Porta-John, which has been used by 100 people before.
All you get is like the dun, dun, dun.
No!
Tacos, my worst enemy today. Oh, Taco Bell, why? I have to sit on the accursed John. John has to sit on the accursed John. Oh no. Anyway, that was fun. And here's something you can do. You can also play along with that game, except do it with your own name.
Mm-hmm.
So come up with a random letter, or, well, not random letter, but
Random word.
random word, and write a haiku on it. Doesn't necessarily have to be nature related, but, you know, nature's timing and that.
Hey, I was just going to say, in a way, mine's somewhat nature related.
Hey, if you gotta go, you gotta go.
But yeah, kind of as we continue talking about poetry, obviously we'll have stuff prepared ahead of time, but we also want to kind of engage with these different games because they're fun and they make us laugh, and hopefully they make you laugh too. So Brandon, what are we going to be talking about with the Inklings next week?
So next week, I think the plan is to do acrostic poems. Ooh. And I know sometimes acrostic poems, some people can make one word, like, as they follow the thing, because sometimes we're like plants, for example. Let's say that's the thing you do with acrostic. So plants, you have like potato as like the first thing. Like sometimes people do like just the one word things for each as you go down the line. Now, I'm more of the person of I'll use a whole line and then keep moving forward. And I think we'll share some of our previous... I know I wanted to share at least one of my previous acrostics.
So I've never actually written an acrostic before.
Okay.
So I'm going to be obviously preparing for next week, getting some stuff written in preparation. But then we'll probably do some sort of goofy game.
And we'll also... Maybe we should also do our name for this one.
We could do that too.
Do it based on our name.
That would be a good idea.
That's going to be the acrostic that we'll do, kind of like Seasons was for the haikus. We'll have our name as the acrostic.
Yep. And then you'll be able to hear that next week. And
then join in yourself if you want to write down your name and put your acrostic poem or something like that.
that's right.
But yeah, I think that, and we will hopefully include these more often.
Fun little game feature.
Fun little games, and then we'll see what we want to do. So, like, or I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing.
I don't know what you're doing either. You wrote an S though.
That's what I meant to do. So, like, we could do something like sand.
I don't like sand.
Gets everywhere. Gets everywhere. Coarse, grainy. On the same page. Anyway, with that reference, I think it's probably a good time to end.
Yeah, before we kind of lose our minds.
But hopefully you like the Porta John, and hopefully the Bean Boozled.
I felt bamboozled by the direction you went. I didn't really expect that, so bravo to you.
I kind of expected your direction.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, there wasn't much I could do with
What else can you do with that, to be honest? But anyway,
I'm satisfied with the way it went.
hopefully you guys are satisfied, and as you join us as we continue next week, and we're also thinking of doing the children's book at some point soon, and we're also still working on the
short story. Yeah.
So
Again, I know you touched on it 2 weeks ago now at this point. But a lot of these are kind of to still give you content while we work on the short story.
So look forward to that. See us do ridiculous stuff. Yeah. We'll catch you guys next time.
See you guys.
Yep. See ya.